Hey, what's going on, guys? ZTA Prime back here again. Today I wanted to take a quick look at this HDMI Scan Line Generator. I picked mine up on eBay for about 26 bucks and I think it's a cool little unit. I'm going to be testing this with the Raspberry Pi, but it will work with tons of other systems. As long as it has HDMI, you should be able to get scan lines. Taking a look at the board, we have HDMI in and HDMI out. Now where the small heatsink is, that's HDMI in. Where the big heatsink is, it's HDMI out. There's also 4 switches, one for on, off, even and odd, VSync, and width. Right in the middle of the board, we have 3 potentiometers. These control the blue, green, and red of the screen colors, so you can kind of change it around if you'd like to. This will also increase or decrease the scan lines by adding more blue, green, or red. The board also has a micro USB 5-volt in, and I did not need to use these, but there is a chance maybe if you're using 15-foot HDMI cables on each side, you might need to power the board. But in my case, I have 6 feet on each side, and it worked perfectly. So there's a few downsides to this board also. When you plug this in, it will downscale the resolution from your Raspberry Pi or whatever else you're running to 1024 by 768. That's not a big deal for me because I'm going to be using this inside of a cabinet with an LCD monitor, and I'm only going to be using this with retro games, so it's going to look great at that resolution. And the last thing, they claim that you would lose HDMI sound, but in my case, I did not lose it. I have it hooked up to a monitor with speakers built in, and it works fine like that. But if for some reason you don't get HDMI sound, you can always use the 3.5mm audio jack on your Raspberry Pi 3 or whatever board you're going to be using this with. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up, and we're going to see what this thing will do. Alright guys, so here we are. I'm running RetroPie 4.3. I have a few emulators installed, and I have the HDMI Scan Line Generator connected. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this with me capturing the screen, so I'm going to take close-up pictures of the screen itself. The Scan Line Generator is off right now. We're just going to do this in the main menu. I'm going to turn it on. It does darken it up a little bit, but as you can see, it adds scan lines. Now these are the small scan lines. We can go a bit bigger. And we can also go odd or even. We'll go back to the smaller scan lines, which I don't like these too much. Odd or even. I like setting these to the max. We also have a blue, green, red adjuster here. I'm just going to adjust it up all the way. Now I think it's pretty cool to set it all the way down and then give it a little red tint, like an old TV. But for this video, I'm going to leave it all the way down. I just want you to see these scan lines in action. Now this will work with pretty much any device that uses HDMI. You could even use this on your PC if you're running Launchbox or something like that. We're going to go into a Neogeo game. But before I do that, I just want you guys to hear that the sound is working. Now, they stated that the sound would stop working. I just pressed start on my controller, I went to sound settings, and I turned it to master. I'm getting sound through my HDMI. We're going to go into Metal Slug 4. So I can turn the scan lines down so they're a lot smaller. I know you really can't see them with the game capture. So I'm going to leave them like this, and I'm going to go to odd. This is even. This is odd. At least that's what it says on the board. So I'm going to press start on my controller.
Okay. Mission 1, start.
So I think it looks really good. Now while I'm waiting here, I can adjust these colors. You see it kind of dims the scan lines down a little bit. We'll go all the way up with each color and go back down. So while it's back down, you can really see those scan lines. And I think they look pretty decent. You can always emulate them on screen with the Scanline settings in RetroPie or pretty much any other emulator. But I think this is a pretty cool little option if you don't have that built into the system you're running it on. Now it works a lot better with a monitor, like a computer monitor. I'm running it on a 24-inch computer monitor. On my big screen television, it doesn't look great. It's a 55-inch 4K, so it's really not meant to have scan lines. What I'm going to do is take a few pictures here with my camera. Here's a few close-ups of the LCD screen that I'm using. Now I just messed around with the settings and took a few different pictures. Some of them are the big scan lines, some of them are the small scan lines. You'll just have to experiment and find what you like. While I'm here, I figured I'd test out another game. This is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I also took pictures of my LCD screen with this game also. I think it looks pretty good. There's tons of adjustment you can do. You can get it exactly the way you like it. I think these are great little devices if you're forced to use HDMI. Now, nothing's gonna ever beat a CRT. This will work great in an arcade cab build with HDMI and an LCD. They also make VGA versions of this, but I chose the HDMI because everybody's using HDMI nowadays. Here's another quick look with some different settings. I really like the wide, even scan lines. I think they look great. So that's it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you watching. I just wanted to take a quick look at this HDMI Scan Line Generator. Yes, it does work. You can make it look really good with some decent adjustments. Now we can remove those scan lines a little more so they're not so visible, or we can max them out just by adjusting this red, green, blue. I'm going to leave eBay links down in the description if you're interested in picking one of these up. They're anywhere from $25 to $28. I got mine shipped from within the United States and it came in 3 days. If you guys could, hit that like button and subscribe. And like always, thanks for watching.